Welcome back to Hanger 51. So we're going to get back on the wing repair here. So I had to do a little extra work that you didn't need to see me do because it was more the same. But I wasn't happy. You guys had talked about me. Why am I not blocking it out with a wood block? And you guys are absolutely right. I should have been doing that. And it ended up that I just wasn't happy. There was a very, very slight, dip in it in the leading edge. And I don't know why, because I didn't sand through the black. So I guess it was the wing just had that dip in it. So I decided to fix that as well. And then the same thing on the top here slightly. It was, there was a very mild little concave in it that I didn't like either. So what I ended up doing is I just took some Gorilla Glue and I just put a little, I mixed it up with the water, and I just put a very, very thin coat of it all around the front edge, leading edge here, from here all the way to here, and up onto here, and then on the bottom a little bit. And I let that dry, and of course it swelled all up, and I had about a 1/2 inch thick all the way around here. So I took the knife and I shaved it off. And then I start sanding it, and that's where we're gonna. I recorded all this, or I thought I did. I got all the audio. I had the wrong camera on. I had the other camera on that didn't have me with the wing. It just had a picture of the bridge of the Enterprise. So I recorded the bridge of the Enterprise while I'm talking through what I'm doing. So you guys don't need to see that. So we're gonna pick it up where I'm still sanding the Gorilla Glue and get ready to put another coat of putty on it, and we'll take it from there, and then we'll move on from that. So here's that footage. Okay, so I did a real quick cut and sand here to knock it down where you can already see. We're back in, almost back to where we were. It just added a little bit. Now I'm going to bring the camera real close here so you can see how much aeration in this particular. It's really airy, this one. Yeah, that's pretty good. So it's going to require another batch of the spackle. No big deal. Now the difference between the spackle and this is pretty rugged. You bump this, it's not going to just ding up like the spackle will. This has got some structural strength to it. So, and that's why I did this. I didn't want to fill it with spackle and then have it, get a little tiny bump, and the spackle is just going to ding. This won't ding. This is pretty solid, so it can take a lot more abuse than it's just plain spackle. So we're just going to fill in the little holes with the spackle and do a final sand on it. Now, several of my guys mentioned why wasn't I using a sanding block, and I'm going to tell you they're absolutely right. You should be using a sanding block. I wasn't thinking that I wanted this that critical. And so I wasn't really concerned that it was absolutely, perfectly smooth. And what I mean by smooth, it was smooth, but was it level? No, it wasn't. And it's a foam airplane. I wasn't that critical, but I should be showing you the right way to do it. So I've got a block of wood here, a piece of wood, flat wood now, with some sandpaper around it, and I'm going over it now with this, so that it will be flat and level across the entire wing here, because this is the right way to do it. So what I was doing before, and I'll do a hand sanding again on some of this edging here that is not critical to the flatness, but I'm going to block it out with this, and I was going to block it out with the primer, and I'm still gonna. I figured I could have just gotten it flat with just a couple coats of primer, and I probably could have, but again, being a little too anal now, I think. But anyway, so yeah, I'm doing it the way they wanted me to do it, and they were right. So let's do it the right way. I don't want to show you the wrong way. So I got a piece of wood, and now we're reaching to this much of the wing now, for this little bit of repair right in here, and we're blocking it all the way out so that it's going to be perfectly smooth and flat now. It'll be perfectly level. I got a little ways to go. This is still raised up just a little bit in here. Nothing that the camera could detect, but it's a little high right here. So I'm going to just keep very gently bringing this down till I've got a perfectly flat wing front here. It's actually looking pretty good on this side over here, but this side's a little too high. So I'm going to concentrate more over here and get all that flattened out. And then I'll spackle it again, and I'll block it again, and then I'll prime it again, or prime it. I haven't primed it yet, and block it again, and then you'll get the full Monty, what it's going to look like when you go the extra mile and do it the right way. So honestly, what I was doing would have been perfectly fine. The plane would have looked great. But now it's going to look even greater. I mean, somebody might have noticed that little tiny depression in the top leading edge of the wing on the top here. It's not going to be there now. It's gone. I sanded it. I puttied it out with the Gorilla Glue, and now I'm blocking it out. And that slight depression that was there will not be there anymore. All right, so let me get the camera off. We'll get going on it some more. I'll update you on the next batch, and we'll go there. Okay, so you saw me block out the extra Gorilla Glue I did. I already did the spackle and sanded that smooth, so we're at the final stages here. So it's been re-smoothed with, I filled in all the Gorilla Glue, all the aerated holes, and it's all been smoothed out, and we're ready to prime it now. So this is past the first. This was second coat. This is the second coat of smothered, the smoothed on Gorilla Glue, sanded down, shaved, sanded, spackled, sanded, and now we're ready to paint. So that's where we're at. So this is looking really good now. It probably doesn't look any different to you. Like I said, the difference of what I was so anal about was hardly noticeable. So not a big deal. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and tape this off and shoot some primer on it. Now I sanded here where the dent was. So this is all sanded here, and I'm going to put I'm going to put some primer here. And I'm going to primer all this in white. And then I'm going to come back and we're going to put a piece of tape across here, and I'm going to put some gray on here before we sand anything. I'm going to do a coat of white here and all over here in the bottom. And then we're going to do I'm going to tape it off, and we're going to do just gray down here. All right. So let's just do a quickie tape job here. And I'm using, this is going to be, this is Rust-Oleum 2x Ultra Cover Flat White Primer. Okay, so that's what I'm going to use for the primer, the white primer. And then I'm going to use this gray primer. This is just cheap gray primer. And I'm going to use that for the coat, and it's a light gray too. So. All right, so let's just do a real quickie here. We're not going to get too technical. I just want to keep the overspray of the white off the black. So we're going to just go out to about here, and we'll go over that. This is nothing precise, guys. This is very just simple. And I don't want to put it over that because I'm going to paint that. So we're going to take this. Let's cut that down. I don't need all that. Let's take that. And We'll put that here like this. Nothing. You don't have to press this down. We're not worried about any. You know, it's primer, guys, so I'm not worried about it. You know, bleeding under the tape line or any of that, because it doesn't matter. It's not important. So I'm going to put a piece here, because we want to paint in here a little bit, and this. Okay. So we're going to. You can see here we're going to paint in here, and then down here where the, you know, where I sanded out that dent. Okay. Let me do something on the bottom. Actually, I think I'm going to do just another. I don't feel like putting paper all over this, so we'll just put another piece of tape on it, just to make sure I stay off stay away from the black as much as I can. Like that. This is some very basic taping, guys. We're not getting critical here at all. This is strictly just so I can dust on a little white primer here without getting it all over everywhere else I don't want it. So very, very quick and easy, quick and dirty. We're not going to get fancy here. So I'm gonna just tape off where the wires are and stuff, so we don't get any paint on that, on the servo here, like that. And we'll just do a quickie across here like that. Okay. And let me do one more little piece right here. Actually, I think I'm going to do it this way. I don't want to get any paint on that plastic strut mount, so we'll tape over top of that, keep the paint off of that. Okay, that's good enough. Just quick and dirty, nothing too fancy, guys. Just a quick, you know, tape job there to show, you know, just so I can contain the primer where I want it. All right, so I'm gonna stop the video here. I'm going out. I'm not gonna paint it on camera. I don't want to get overspray inside the tent here, so I'm gonna take it outside and do it. So I'll be right back.